wherever. I assume that's going to be on this map. Here it is. There we go.
It's
Cool.
This
on one of the arms.
Okay, that makes sense.
This quarter. There we go, number 18.
All right. However, for the audience, I'm going to start on the other screen on this cute birthday picture. And feel free to set your volumes for the ambiance. Oh, I did want to test something here. Let's see how we're doing with... I have this other source of sound called Sirenscape. Just want to see how that's faring. All right. Whoa, it's pretty loud for me. Is that too loud for other people?
I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, you're not hearing anything? Okay. All right, good thing I experimented with it. That won't work today. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I guess we're ready to go. Oh, is the audience listening to what I'm doing? Apparently. Thank you, YouTube, for broadcasting me trying to set up. Even though I had not... oh, geez. Why does it take it upon itself to start the stream when I only click the button to... Okay. All right. Well, hello. It's Ronald, the rules lawyer. I'm here with my my players who are playtesting Starfinder, the science fantasy cousin of Pathfinder. They're playtesting 2nd edition, which is based on the same rules engine as Pathfinder 2nd edition. Something that I was very much looking forward to and hoping was going to happen. And this the final rules will be released next year, but we're in the process of a playtest. Their surveys open until the end of this year, and they have released this adventure, Cosmic Birthday, level 1 to 3, for people to play through. And there's a very cute picture on the screen of a baby Vesk blowing out their candles on a birthday cake. And we're just going to kind of jump right into it after introductions. Let's... we are at Absalom Station, which is, for people who don't know the lore, something called the Gap occurred, where basically the planet of Galarian disappeared, and nobody remembers why. And the Gap is the period of time that happened. And instead of the planet, there is this gigantic space station that is a bustling metropolis set in the science fantasy future. It is it has billions of people, which is an amazing number. And it is the Pact World's cultural and economic center. And it is powered by the Starstone reactor, which was legendarily built from the powerful artifact that fell on Galarian long ago. And the way the drift works, it's like basically a way to quickly go to any part of the... I think the galaxy?
Yeah, anywhere within the galaxy.
Okay. Yeah.
Starfinder 1 told us don't go into dark space. You go crazy if you go into dark space.
Okay. So it's basically this kind of other dimension where you can quickly travel in a matter of a few days from one location to Absalom Station. And you can also go use the drift to get from any place to another place, theoretically. There are like beacons in the drift. And our heroes start on Absalom Station. So I'm just going to ask people to... I'm going to show people's character on the screen when you introduce yourselves. I think everybody's in the same order in Discord. as what I see. So I'm just going to start from the top and ask everybody to say what you like about yourself, and any experience you have with Pathfinder and Starfinder, and tell us about your character. So first is Danny.
Of course I'm first. Okay, my name's Danny. I've been playing Pathfinder first and then second edition. Played a little bit of Starfinder first edition, and then other various role-playing games for the past 30 years or so. I'm playing Warcloud, who is a Barathu. Think of it as a sentient jellyfish.
Mm-hmm.
That carries around, it's a small jellyfish carrying around a giant minigun. He's a soldier, a veteran, but not very experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is currently looking for something a little bit more interesting than the usual station guard duties that he had been used to.
Mm-hmm. And am I right that they were formerly in the armed forces? And what motivates them to adventure?
They, to be honest, they are fascinated with humanoid society more than their own Barathu, and they watched too many holovids. And thought that everything was going to be like it was in the holovids, and found out it wasn't. At least in the military. So decided, okay, let's try this freelance and see if it's a little bit more exciting and interesting.
All right, so it's kind of figuring out people, like society,
Yes.
and learning how to adapt. Okay, it'll be fun to see how that plays out.
Knows about other Sophins. They learned from watching holovids, so it's a little bit trite, and he doesn't quite understand all the interactions.
Uh-huh. Now, for chat, if you can tell me whether you can hear my fan. I don't know if that's a distraction. Just report that in chat. And we got 44 people watching. This is it's great. Okay, so that is our soldier. And next is Elsbeth. Tell us about you and your character.
I'm either Elspeth or Kathy, depending on context. I only been playing Pathfinder 2 for a few years. It's got ramped up a little bit when I started running games earlier this year. But I played lots of different other games. I played Traveler over COVID, and way back in the day, I played a lot of AD&D when that was the latest version. And then I had a little gap where I wasn't able to play as much. But I'm coming back and doing a lot of reading, and that's how things work. Tacy was training as a diplomat and being trained for an envoy when things happened, and she's had a non-voluntary separation from her job and family. So right now she's looking to adventure as sort of a way to get back her name and earn money and things like that.
Mm-hmm. It sounded like she's part of a well-connected family, and she's just trying to make do after. I'm trying to remember what was her family had a downfall.
It wasn't my family. I didn't go into much details.
Okay.
Basically, she was betrayed.
Right.
By someone she thought was a friend.
Gotcha. And something that she hasn't shared with everybody, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she's somebody who is, it's kind of new for her to try to be in a position of having to scrabble together a living.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
I mean, I was earning a living, but that's more like white collar earning a living too, now having to scramble and try to get your own jobs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next is Garrick.
Hey everyone, my name on the Discord is Garrick. I've been playing Pathfinder First Edition since I'm going to say 2013. That's most of my experience. I've been GMing Second Edition for over a year. I've played a couple of campaigns in Second. I've played a couple of one shots in Starfinder First Edition and Call of Cthulhu. So 10-ish years of playing. Only the last year or so of GMing. My character is Null. He is a operative android, and he is one of the few androids that holds on to their body past 100 years. He lived through android servitude while androids were still a slave species in the Pact worlds, and so that's his main motivator for adventuring. He tries to fund his own operations to help free oppressed peoples, whether they're androids or otherwise. And so he finds himself in Absalom Station, using it as his base of operations, and that is the beginning of that character.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, did I show people? Null. Here we go. This is Null. Our operative. Okay, next is Griff.
Hey, I'm Griff. I have about 15 years experience of playing different TTRPG systems. I've spent most of those years DMing, mostly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, some Pathfinder, just now getting into the 2nd edition of Pathfinder and Starfinder, and a lot of different RPGs sprinkled here and there, of a different variety. I am playing Gelton, a Vesk Solarian. Sorry. Gelton grew up into a very militant family when he was of age. Went to go be a soldier and was found wanting on the risk compared to what he got in return for military service. So fled his military service without permission, got on board as a space pirate, and after a recent escapade involving a double cross, has left that crew scattered, either jailed, killed, or laying low like he is. He's currently here trying to get himself money to get his own ship and his own crew. The main thing that motivates him to adventure is mostly a glutton for luxury. The want of exotic meals, just expensive things, from silk sheets to top shelf liquor. And he does not particularly care how he acquires that money to do so.
Is it that he genuinely doesn't care and he knows the consequences of being a pirate on others, or that he's less aware of just the consequences of on others?
It's more of just growing up as a soldier for the Vesk Empire, or not as a soldier, but to be a soldier and then going into piracy. There's not a terrible huge amount of growing up with a moral compass on people getting hurt, desensitized to it very early.
All right, then.
Yes.
That'll be interesting.
Are you okay, puppy?
Okay, were you done? I'll go. Yeah. I'll call people by their character names to keep things simple for myself and viewers. Next is Onyx.
Yep, I go by Onyx or Andrew, either works. I've had a good chunk of experience playing Pathfinder 1. I've ran way too much Starfinder First Edition. I was there when it first came out and passing around cropped images of the book so people could play it online that didn't have the PDF. So I was back back in the trenches when it. So I'm very versed in Starfinder 1, so I'm excited to see what they change up and how things are running with second edition. Ran a bunch of Pathfinder second edition since 2020 or 2022. Sorry, I think a little bit before Dark Archives is when I started playing. But so a little bit of experience here and there, so I know the system. Played other games, Lancer, Shadowrun, a couple of the 2D20 games. And I'm playing Theodore Avik, a local to Absalon, born in the puddles, kind of raised by his father as his mom kind of passed shortly after childbirth. Father was a great dude, worked multiple jobs to keep his son fed and in school. Even when Theodore went to go become a doctor, his father still worked his butt off to help pay and give him money during his doctorate school. Sadly, his father got sick, and with all the time he was working, the money he was sending to his son, his father didn't have the money to cure his illness. And kind of by the time Theo got back from school, his father passed shortly after, and kind of took some time in the Church of Pharasma to come to grips with it, and happened to his kind of power to hear the heartbeat of the universe, as they're a rhythm mystic. But instead of hearing music, they hear the living beat of the universe. And now he's kind of using his doctor training to help the people out in like the puddles, Little Akaton, the places that are maybe not getting as much help as they need to on Absalon, to make sure that if it's not free, he's taking like people giving him like donations or something small to help pay for things. But living off of donations and free medical work doesn't give you the best of food, doesn't give you the best of living conditions. So he kind of has to pick up a few odd jobs here and there to pay the bills, so to speak.
Okay. All right. And we start with our heroes knowing each other. I assume you've all had common cause. You all have a variety of talents, and you're able to do adventuring jobs for the right buyer. And we start on Absalom Station in the Vesk Quarter. You guys had found that there is a Vesk named Jules Akama who was looking for people to do a job for him. And here in Absalom Station, you know, it is a connected campaign setting. People see the news through the infosphere, which is the Starfinder version of the internet, on their communets, aka their mobile phones. And the latest talk is on the political front, the prime executive named Cantal, who runs Absalom, is the elected leader of Absalom Station, is very popular, and there is a guild called the Syndic's Guild that is opposed to her, that and she has been talking about instituting the end of electoral districts and favoring a universal unrestricted vote for the settlement's representation slots. There are also rumors of vampires and occult activity that are multiplying in recent weeks, that are the source of a lot of speculation and wild theories, many of them contradictory to each other, for people being kidnapped even by these space vampires. Well, meanwhile, you find yourselves in the Vesk Quarter, and in one of the bars here, one of the taverns, and I think I have something going on here. So, let's see. Give me a second as I have to explain to the audience. I've had a very busy day. Had challenges to my ability to prepare. I am a lawyer, and I've been working a trial that is in the UK, and so I woke up this morning at 2 a.m. and we're on the second day of a trial, and it was the second day in a row also that I was tasked with writing an emergency brief before the next day. So I just woke up from a nap. So this is explaining why I'm not exactly a Matt Mercer. There's a lot going on. Nobody is a Matt Mercer. Don't feel like you have to be a Matt Mercer to GM. Just do it if you want to play the game. Okay, so there is a vest and a tracksuit, a faded tracksuit that rises from the couch, a sly grin creeping across his face. He waves a cred stick in one hand. Gold chains glisten around his neck in the light. Looking for work? Got a job for you. I just acquired a freighter with a colorful past. A great investment opportunity, the listing said, which means this freighter is a fixer-upper. The deal I got was maybe too good to be true. Word on the ring is my guy towed it in from Aslanti space. Could be a big payday for salvage, but I'm up to my horns in other work and need somebody to clear it out. Help me catalog the assets, why don't you? Now, if you want in, you'll want to take a shuttle up to the Armada and use my passcode to get past the impound lock and clear out any dangers that survived quarantine. You'll get a primo cut of salvage, of course, and a little something extra for the trouble. He's
That seems like an easy enough task.
Standard boarding action. I don't see a problem.
Yes. Now, I've heard good things about you. Now, do you have any questions for me?
Can I get your name, please?
Jules Akama. I'll type it in for your benefit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I am asking because I have a fun augment.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you explain what...
I have a fun augment in my eyes called auto recognition lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, a tiny heads-up display will show this person's name and their appearance for me. So long as they don't really change their appearance, it auto pops up their name and who they are and basic information that's like publicly available.
Yeah. Very good. A very cheap augment. And an augment, remind us what that is. Oh, yeah,
it's like a little...
It's like
It's
having
like a little new...
an expansion slot
like a
or
little
something.
new... Yeah, it's like a little magic item. I wouldn't say magic item, but if you're going Pathfinder for 2nd edition, kind of like a little magic item you can implement on your body that just does small things.
Mm-hmm.
Some are big, like Theodore is an augmented human, and so he has subdermal plating that makes him a little bit tougher in combat. But this one's just like a little lens that gives him a heads-up display in his eyes, so he knows who he's talking to, and out of character, it gives me a reason to tell me, hey, I forgot their name. What's my heads-up display say?
It seems like a very useful item in real life. I forget people's names and faces. Hey, Swingwhipper's here. Hi, Swingwhipper. Okay. Any questions for...
fucking client that's just Chrome. Oh, Lord.
Has there been, you said clear it out. Has there been anything going on beyond this junk, you think, in there?
Besides this, what did you say?
Besides strange noises or whatever.
Well, that's your job. Honestly, I don't have much to tell you. About the ship itself, about what's inside the ship.
Do we have ship class and potential deck plans?
We don't.
Well, if it
that ain't
comes from
good.
its slanty space, we should be very careful. You never know what's going to be in that cargo.
Yes. The Aslanti
Yes.
Star Empire. Big eyebrows, big problems. They're humans who took a portal from old Galarian, started a big space empire and conquered a few worlds with their Aeon Guard. Now they think they're better than everyone else. The Veskarian would crush them. He demonstrates with his claw. Yeah, the Aslanti. They got lots of shiny magitech, and if the rumors about my purchase are true, that ship might be loaded with equipment we don't see much this side of the galaxy. And his tongue gets, slips out and, salivating over the thought.
I mean, it's also very dangerous tech. I know a lot of, if I recall, Aslanti stuff isn't keen on anyone that's not Aslanti.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like Biolock.
No, Aslanti have a belief that they are top dog. I would say is the best way to put it.
So Noel wants to know, and I don't know if this should be a role, the legality of Aslanti Star Empire tech on Absalom Station.
Well,
If you know.
Yeah, it would. This would be a low DC society check, and something everybody should do is. Oh, by the way, have people noticed the new fancy interface? If some of you may not be used to the new mod, when you click your token, you see in the bottom left your key statistics. Yeah. And there's a bunch. This also functions as the token action HUD as well. Like if you hover over the sword, you get to like reveal a bunch of all the skill actions are here. It kind of fills the role of token action HUD. I still have token action HUD active for people who are used to that, but another thing is that everyone should have the basic action macro in their hotkey bar, which is like a one-stop shop that I'm used to at least. One of the things it can do is recall knowledge. But just do a control space and type in basic action macro. And it will come up and you can click and drag it to your hotkey bar. And it basically has every skill action in the game. Select your token and then click that hotkey, and we can do that. I think recall knowledge will be there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
oh no!
Society recall.
Yeah, except the video is frozen for the audience. Hold on. Why don't you go ahead and do that while I try to fix the stream.
Okay. I wanted to roll it. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the video's frozen, but people can hear me. Oh, okay. All right. So, oh no, I'm sorry. This is a challenging stream here. Why would the video be frozen, but they can hear me? And hold on. Well, dear audience, I need to just do the usual IT solution of shutting everything off and turning it on again. I think. Okay.
It works. Can't be mad if it works.
Yeah.
Can multiple people make that recall knowledge check?